Oh my
When
gosh.
you let all the blue Kool-Aid drain out of you, this UI is 10 times better than PlayStation. I have both.
All right, all right. You have a point. You have a point. So how you doing, man?
Good. So
Uh,
what types of things are you? Is this going to be like just totally open-ended, throw it at me, or are you going to
I have just a
try
couple
to like
questions.
compartmentalize and have some questions?
I just have a
Yeah.
couple questions, but however you answer is how you answer, and there we go.
Yeah, of course.
All right. So first thing, how did you get started into? Because everyone got started probably with like Halo or Call of Duty or whatever. But when
Hmm.
did you first decide like, okay, I'm gonna start actually trying to get good? I'm gonna start doing like high end stuff.
In Destiny or in shooters in general?
Just FPS general.
Um, well, I would say I started on GoldenEye because I'm old. So I've been playing FPSs since GoldenEye. But I think Halo 1, that game just like blew my mind. And I remember doing, when I was in school, right? There was no Xbox Live at that time.
Right.
So when I was in college, um, the whole network from our school was set up to basically be one big local area network. So we would log in and just like you could have like 12, 15 games that you would see like all across the school, instead of just connecting like Xbox to Xbox. So
Nice.
that was super fun, and basically Xbox usage exploded that year at the school that I went to. So by the end of the year there were like 50, 60 games going at once, and I was just
Jeez.
like destroying every game because there was no way to communicate, there was no messages, there was no, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it was all just like pick a lobby, play the lobby. There was no headsets,
Right.
nothing. It was all just LAN to LAN. So they kind of expect you to be in the same room.
Mm.
So, anyways, I was just mobbing kids up at school, and that was really fun. I would say that I started to get better at Destiny PvP when I invested in a monitor because I did
Ah.
not really fully understand how much input lag there was on traditional
Oh yeah, it's
televisions
ridiculous.
when I was playing that. So yeah.
All right, and so basically just started with Halo, and then mopped up that, and then got into Destiny, and then there we go.
Yep, and obviously played a lot of D1, and had kind of several stages of my quote unquote crucible career during D1. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's like different time periods where I kind of view myself as a certain kind of player, but I was not good at all when I started playing Crucible in D1. Like, and I still don't think I'm good, but I've made a lot of improvements since then.
Yeah.
So it's definitely possible.
Yeah. Well, you go back and watch some of your my favorite one still to this day. It's probably like once twice a week I go back on your old Twitch stream and watch the Mayhem 3v3. Golly, that was the greatest thing
Oh, it was a
ever.
good time.
Oh my god. I was
I
in the
haven't
live
seen that
stream.
kid on any social media. Yeah, I haven't seen him on any social media since then, so I think that was the end of his
It's called a shutdown
streaming career.
there.
But hey, give him credit. He paid
Hmm.
what the wager was, and
Yeah.
he was humble in defeat. So as much shit as he talked prior, he did the right stuff when it came down to it at the end. So
Yeah, yeah.
oh, that was a good time though.
That was awesome. Okay, so you first started a game. Let's say you're hopping into a Crucible, competitive, quick play, mayhem, whatever, and you want to do good. What's your mindset going in? Like, what do you want to do? What's your goals? What's your standards? That sort of thing.
Um, it's kind of a broad question. I mean, so are you thinking like loadouts or mindset?
Or
You know what I
let's
mean? Because
let's
that'd
start
be a little
loadout.
different. Sure. So loadout is going to be, if you're trying to do good, right? So if you're
Mm-hmm.
playing comp or just like trying to win
Mm-hmm.
in quick play, loadout for me in Destiny is a lot about being adaptable and being able to use different loadouts
Yeah.
that um, can kind of complement the map and the game type, because
Yeah, that makes sense.
6v6 game types are going to have a little bit different feel than a 4v4, etc.
Right.
Um, so on larger maps, obviously, pulse rifles, bygones is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Mida on some like actual decently large maps like Equinox and stuff like that.
Hmm.
It's a good option. Otherwise, you really need today like some kind of close range option, I think.
Shotguns.
So whether you're shotgun's fine, recluse is good. Even kind of playing Not Forgotten, or I've been experimenting with Last Word more. It's definitely viable in terms of like having something that can be used at short mid range,
Right.
but it also can take care of shotgun pushers or shoulder charge titans, stuff like that. So
I've been pulling out
just kind of
sidearms
thinking
more
about,
often.
like, yeah, like kind of thinking like what are my threats going to be on this map? Is it going to mostly be from close? Is it mostly going to be from far? And being able to adapt to like the different types of threats you might encounter.
Because I mean, Not Forgotten is even on console is still one of the greatest hand cannons, but you pull out a NF on Equinox
Yeah.
and you're automatically at a disadvantage.
Yeah, unless you play that inside lane, but so that
Which
might
then
bring
is
me to the
shotgun
next point,
territory.
right? Like, yeah, I mean, so then you kind of know your maps, like practice. Practice really is just like, I mean, a big part of it, unfortunately, like just learning the lanes and where people stand, where there are pitfall lanes, and just there's all kind of spots where, I have to die a few times to kind of realize like, okay, I'm not going to play that lane that way anymore. But you have to be, thinking about that stuff as you play. I think that's what good players do, is they try to get better as they play. So.
Right. So that's just it. Learning. Well, first off, just like get a good loadout per the map, game type, what your enemies have, and then just playing smart. Just figure out. Oh, there's a lot of snipers in this lane. I may not want to walk out there.
Yeah, just try to learn from your mistakes, right?
Right.
I mean, be open to it and be like a thoughtful, conscious player. You know what I mean? When you're playing, be thinking about what's working and what's not. And don't fucking blame the equipment. Like don't blame the fact that someone has another gun. If you don't like it, then like change it. Like change what you're using or learn to beat them. Like we're all playing the same game. And like complaining doesn't do you any good. I just see a lot of that in the community. Trashing other people's loadouts and stuff. It's just stupid.
And the thing is, it'll shut a lot of people down when one of the best snipers in Destiny 2 right now is a blue. Was it Aachen? Yeah. And it's a rare. I'm like, yeah, that shut a lot of people down on that. I'm like, excuse is kind of out there now.
Yeah, exactly. Totally agree.
Yeah. Okay, so when you're trying, like, you go into a game and it's like, okay, I'm actually gonna try to sweat. I'm gonna try to, go pull a 50 bomb or whatever. What's your biggest goal in mind? Like, do you want to go super aggressive? Do you want to play your life and try to counterbalance them? Like, how's that work for you?
So. Well, you just said drop a 50 bomb. So in that case, you're kind of talking about volume. And, I'm not one of those guys that drops 50 bombs all the time. Like I said, I'm not a super volume slayer or anything like that. I try to play, usually I'm the guy going for the win and going for like some level of efficiency.
Okay.
But if you're playing for high kills, right, like you need to be aggressive. So you're probably going to want to have some close range stuff, right? Something that's going to be versatile and close range. So,
okay, but yours, when you're sweating, you're trying to, you're saying you're going for the win. Like, what's your definition of going for the win?
Well, sometimes that means you have to play objective. Like sometimes that means you can't just go for kills. I mean, if you're playing with a full team and your other teammates are doing a good job capping, like, okay, good for you. Like you can go ahead and slay out. And I play with teams like that too, where I'd rather get on a base because I'm playing with some slayers, or I'd rather have them put in, most of the legwork on kills.
Right.
So that's fine if you have a composition, but sometimes if you're playing an evenly matched team, you might have to do more than, show some initiative and go a little bit above and beyond, right?
Especially if you're solo
play
queuing.
the objective, like, yeah, if you're going for the win, if you're just going, that's the thing about Destiny. Like, there's a lot of people who just go in and like they're going for sniper kills and they don't really care if they win or lose. Like, whatever, do that in quick play.
Right.
But if you're going for the win, play objective and think about the game type. It sounds common sense, but playing as a team is huge too. Communicating and just simple call outs like, hey, this guy's here. This guy picked up the heavy off my body. just like helping your teammates out with like little call outs can equip them with information that they can go use to be successful in the next engagement. So communication is huge. Like if a party, take advantage of that fact.
It just boils down to just be a good teammate. Honestly, sometimes being the god of the team isn't the best teammate. Sometimes the guy who stays in back and makes sure the point gets capped. Sometimes he's the best one.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll look and my teammates and I won't get a lot of caps, but it'll be a close game, and I'm like, damn, Blueberry had a .8, but he had 9 captures. Like, GG's,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, good teammate.
Putting in work.
Okay,
Yeah.
So you're in a match. You're maybe not trying to sweat, but you're just playing, and you see an opponent. What do you do to determine, oh, this is a good teammate, he's a high-skilled player, or, oh, that's a Blueberry and he's garbage? Like, what do you do to determine that?
So if I see a teammate, like a Blueberry in the
Or,
game?
sorry, no, an enemy. Sorry, an enemy.
An enemy.
Yeah.
Like, how do I determine if an enemy is skilled?
Right.
If I lose a gunfight, I might like look out for him next time, or I might just be like, oh, I missed all my shots, like a total pleb.
Right.
Both happen to me frequently, but I don't know. You can see people's movement. When they're moving really slow, when they're standing out in the open. There's a lot of telltale signs, like straight lining, trying to overreach with a shotgun or overreach with a shoulder charge. There's all kinds of things you can see. Just players. It's basically movement. You know what I mean?
Okay. That makes sense. Like, I just had a game a couple yesterday, and 2 Titans back-to-back tried to shoulder charge me, and they both stopped right in front of my feet. And I'm like, okay, here's my shotgun. Boom! Oh, there's another one.
It's so fun.
Oh, it's hysterical.
I usually teabag those guys. It's too fun not to. Toxic.
Halo Origins coming out now. Okay. All right.
If you can get your teammates, it's just like poker, right? Getting them on tilt. Like, I definitely try to, in close games, will try to piss people off sometimes. Like,
Okay.
it's a sneaky little meta game,
Yeah.
Some people are susceptible to it.
No, I totally get that. It's same to me. If I start getting tilted, my points go down way far.
Yep.
Start
making bad plays and bad decisions and doing stuff for revenge instead of like doing what you need to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, totally a bad deal.
So
Don't play on tilt.
No.
Remember, you're playing a video game.
Exactly.
It's like, remember you're playing a fucking video game. Like, it's not a big deal.
It's really not.
Have some fun.
That's the hard part, to sometimes differentiate that, because I know one kid I play with every now and again. He's a good player, don't get me wrong, but he's never hit a 7th before. And he was borderlining, get a 7th. Wait, there's a guy on my minimap. I don't see him. Where is he? And his character model was blocking the enemy, so he couldn't see him. And he missed a 7th because he was blocking him. I've never heard that kid rage like anything like that before. I'm like, I get it. Missing a 7th sucks, but okay. In the end, you still hit a 6, which is still insanely rare. And it's just a video game, dude. Chill. If you were playing for money, okay, yeah, maybe. But in the end, it is a video game. So
and I get frustrated and I get salty in Crucible. I mean, like,
who doesn't?
I'll be the first to raise my hand and say that. But
freaking Lord of the Wolves right now.
Day,
Jeez.
I usually take a quick little breath and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be fine.
Yeah, that's fair. It's fair.
So.
Okay. So. Bowling back to a couple questions compiled. What do you think is the biggest thing that separates noobs from pros? Like, what do noobs do that holds them back? Is it just bad habits? Is it not enough practice time? Is it none of them have not forgotten? I mean, how does that go down?
Yeah, I don't think it's the equipment, right?
Right.
I think it's just all the stuff that we kind of already talked about, like having map awareness and, knowing how to position yourself around and shit like that. I think it's really just a lot of that stuff can be taught with experience. The stuff that takes practice is the thumb skill and being really accurate. But knowing the maps and trying to be a good teammate, like, that doesn't take anything more than like a little bit of thoughtfulness and paying attention and trying to figure out what things you could work on and stuff like that. Like, anyone can do that stuff, no matter how good you are.
So
So
just
I
being
think that's
smart and
kind of
being honest with
where a
yourself.
noob's mindset should be. Yeah,
Right.
I mean, it should just be like, hey, I'm trying to get better by a little bit every time I play, and if I have a really bad session, like it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
There will be more.
True. True.
So
Okay. So
just having the right mindset.
that goes in the next one. Like, what's the biggest thing they can do to improve? And that's just be smart, be honest, and chill out.
Yeah, and play the game, and try not to get too frustrated if you're having a tough time.
Mm-hmm.
If it's really going south and it's like really frustrating you, take a break. Like, but just put in the time, put in the effort, because you will get better. Like 100%, you'll get better.
Absolutely.
You know. So.